the past as a puncher's division.
Who knows that he has a very crafty guy in front of him. Unfortunately,
dominate this division, move up in short order, and join this new
and that he does. He's gotten a little respect early from Usyk.
No.
Yeah, that's what makes it so.
Angle and land a shot.
Until he gets that one adder, until it's gonna definitely land. Who else could you credit?
Amazing great fighters. Having Troy Jones with Montel Griffin is a little hesitant about this. Minute from you.
True, but what it was that
Montel Griffin, a silver medalist, by the way.
Yeah, he's a good. And when you find a short,
launching a left hand. Round two is still almost the left hand much at all. And land a couple of times upstairs. There's a good straight jab by Mchunu.
He's just trying different things, trying to set up a big shot, seeking to hurt and seeking to get him some respect. This is so awkward for a guy like Usyk because
when he leads out in front, open to counters.
Usyk beginning to find just a little bit more consistently. Steps in and fires to the body.
Hook. When you're that tall, you have to use
African fighters who seem timing's off, Roy.
Yeah, his rhythm, he fights in a sporadic pace, like when he's going to take the lead on you. And right there, Usyk thought he had a left hand behind it.
And wound up getting hit on the cheek.
That Mchunu throws that may be carrying the fight so far have their own styles and rhythms to their style. Eastern European has a lot of American fighters. Again.
Well, this is not typical South African, I don't think.
That's right.
Boxer, he's a cute boxer. You don't really see that from South Africa. Usually we see get war from South Africa, and to hit, he's different.
I think also that the world has become.
So Mchunu was the only guy in there fighting. I mean, he was landing three. I thought Usyk opened up. He saw 2 rounds to 1 to be.
Goes into round 4.
Yeah, Jim, but the thing you don't like a jab, and that's not a good thing because there you go, that go a good shot. Now
going into this fight, he said he likes to play. He is a fighter who thrives off
Mchunu as an opponent because Mchunu is not going to be dead serious. He's going to like that. He's going to be right on top of things. Now Usyk throwing some.
Mchunu's timing that he wasn't even really trying to count in it. He's been countering freely, and as you saw him do over the top there.
Yes, just landed a really good left.
Mchunu's head just wasn't there.
Oh, good shot.
I thought Usyk may have parried it with his shoulder.
The focus of the evening is on Bernard Hopkins and Roy. The two of you fought again.
No, it wasn't. It was the same thing as usual as my hand speed. My hand speed and my knowledge of the and had a lot of experience, but my knowledge that was, but at the same time when he got out, he was beating a lot of guys, knowing that we were on the same level, except my hands were quicker.
In the last round, it looks like that he's employing here. It's going to be for the left hand. Foot, let me get inside a little bit.
Yeah, as Usyk was backing up and looking at the uppercuts as if to say, this is something new.
And if Mchunu throws a big right overhand left on me, fall with it.
Mchunu's a good for the kind of, you know, these are the rounds where the class generally starts to tell. The middle.
Usyk about to triple Mchunu.
Good shot by Usyk.
For a big man on that 1-2. There's so much enthusiasm about Oleksandr Usyk.
One of the things, it's a mix too, but he's able to land it accurately. On the other,
then he turns it over like that. Meanwhile, he's like Lomachenko. They go at a good 80 now pitch until they find the opening like that. Say
as you pick up over the course of a long amateur. Anatoly Lomachenko, although been his trainer since the beginning of his pro career, is no slouch.
No, not at all.
Good hand speed and accuracy
for a big guy.
Cruiserweight.
Yes.
6'2" guy, southpaw. That's impressive.
The mustard on one of those left hands again, too, Max.
Yep.
Like that right there. Yeah.
He's some different fighter than the guy we were looking at in the first couple of rounds. With an unimpeded left counter shot, but that's all right. Usyk charge.
Yes.
4, 5, 6.
Worn down here now as Usyk is throwing freely.
Yes, he let
in round 6.
He let Usyk go around him too much. Let Usyk land big shots in this round early, so now Usyk.
Mchunu can handle himself though, like he's good left hand.
First knockdown of the fight in this round.
Jim, watch the movement Usyk gives you.
Good counter left. Of how Usyk places those punches. He places
giving people something to watch. But the answer for me with Usyk is yes, absolutely.
On the head, it's the movement. You know, directions and shifting gears the way he does. And he moves with his upper body, slips punches with his head.
those good pity-pat punches until it's time to throw.
And Usyk has already scored 2 knockdowns in each progressive round.
And the difference in power punches landed, trying to land 1 punch at a time. And Usyk is...
Yeah, I think Usyk's power's gone, Jim.
I said 2 knockdowns. 1 was ruled a slip.
Against Tabisultan, piling up a lead. There's something played.
There's quick. Yeah.
Now there's the left across the top. Usyk landing punches in bunches once again. There's a... This was my moment to put on a show. And you hit me. Straight at Usyk the first 2 or 3 rounds. Since then,
against a guy like Usyk, but see those punches right there, that left hand had all that too, and with that cut being up over his navel.
Usyk's a guy who ring idolizes Ali, and it's an awkward guy.
And before you have to Google Ali's birthday, it's January 17th.
A day after mine.
Started to say.
Punches.
Same day as Hopkins.
Yeah. Lots of good fighters right.
The best.
Usyk doing some good body work in this round.
Yes, he is. Around that left uppercut, and it comes with the right hook right down the middle. I love it.
Capricorn is the star fighter's astrological sign.
Well, of course, Jim. I mean, come on. If you're a Capricorn, I mean, if we celebrate like the most philosophical sign on the planet.
Famous philosophical.
Doesn't get any better than that.
And Usyk, a Capricorn in this fight, has knocked Mchunu down for the 2nd time. So there's the 2nd official knockdown, and the
he had him surrounded, and Mchunu said, "Let me get down here before the punch."
Good counter shot by Mchunu.
Another good shot.
He hasn't.
Oh, good shot. Oh,
Usyk
good
lands
shot.
a big left over the top.
Body shot by Mchunu. Now real fight is breaking out, Jim.
Mchunu has done his best fighting of the fight in the last 20 or 30. After going down for the 2nd time, and there's the 3rd knock. And now Lumaretta is going to stop the fight.
That does it.
So Oleksandr Usyk has a TKO victory over
during his whole contest. So hook. Opening sequence, what a magnificent time this is proving to be. Both men look to invest early on. One of the team were up on the ring apron, good left hand to the body, pulling forwards. But it's a two-faced to wail away to the body. Good right jab in once again. Being landed to the body. Far less activity. Again, when you think about that class of 20 champions in particular who have gone on to make the mythical pound-for-pound list. I remember Robert Byrd said that anything on... But again, Benny Joshua, man who took super heavyweight in front of 90,000 at Wembley Stadium. Marco Hook making that 14th successful defense. The 2nd time really heavily as he works away the leather. Usyk grins his gum shield contemptuously, gets his boxing stand, marches his man back towards the ropes and begins to score with an effect. The inaugural World Box League Trophy on the line. Here the equation is quite simple. Win and you progress. Down to right hand, wasn't too far away from Hook. Handing composed under fire, back to the space. Good right hand with constant instruction from the right. He knows what he needs to do. Tempting and teasing with it before continuing to contract and making his presence felt when the 2 men came together at the press conference. As Usyk gets back onto the round of applause from his vocal support here. Hook comes back with a right hand, single phase attack, but short to the mark, and now beginning to bring uppercuts through the middle. Weight tournament. Here, our focus is on such impressive fashion. These 2 title defenses have come on the road in the USA, and he used to put Blavatsky on the floor. Very good indeed, continuing to world of pop on it, does that punch. But it was blocked easily. That's a wonderful left hand from Usyk. Back comes Hook with the right hand, got his attention, but he's back in the space down the corner. That just got through gum shield in that maniacal grin that he possesses and has caused Hook to become just a little bit disorganized. Seth, downstairs and upstairs from Oleksandr Usyk. 40 seconds to go in the 4th round, and we are seeing Usyk, who's getting the better of those exchanges because his posture Oleksandr Usyk exploited it, and he started the 5th round quickly. Of the former, once again, Hook, as he gets onto the front, resides here in Berlin. But again, it's Usyk in Beijing 4 years prior to that. But again, look at that for Usyk. Good right hand lands from Hook. Showboating in evidence from Oleksandr Usyk, saying, yeah, that didn't hurt. He dipped his knees in exaggeration and took it to Marco Hook. Quarter-final of the World Boxing Super Trophy, bearing the name of the greatest of all times, Muhammad Ali. It was run by him. He loved the idea of the concept, and that is why this trophy and scored with some straight punches. But back comes Usyk once again. Under Usyk, causing referee Robert Byrd to intervene. But in fairness, he's being fought at a terrific pace, and he's a terrific. All fair in love and war, of course. All right jab. Marco Hook was put under pressure in a 12-round contest. Boxing momentarily. Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk now coming forward, 3 shots. Usyk bobbing, weaving, working his way inside. Experience, the deeper we go in momentarily. Usyk back on the front foot now. He walks Usyk, he walks Hook back towards the ropes for the inaugural Muhammad Ali Trophy. Usyk remains continuing to move counterclockwise. And Hook inside the distance. As Usyk gets onto the front, Hook bobbing and weaving, but he can't evade. Instructive and indicative of the Hook away. Instead, he was looking into the fact he may have taken a break in the first half of round. And Hook now almost following his mantle-like shots. Pecking him hard right cross by Hook. Did the same shot once again. But now here comes Oleksandr Usyk. Unloading heavy, covering up, trying to fire back with the right hand. Turn to the 8th round then. Usyk, listen, stop complaining. Bright start to the round. The Muhammad Ali Trophy, the world. Somebody will the Muhammad Ali Trophy as Usyk again that because he dropped his elbows. And then he gets tagged by a straight left hand straight through the guard. But in the event that the contest is a draw, a 4th year from France, he sat in the rather unusual, perhaps most notably, gets through the cracking right hook. Just causes his mouth wide open. That comes Usyk. And his success is more socially turning his back, looking to launch a counter right hand again. But in the meantime, sustained guard of punches coming from Oleksandr Usyk. Left hand success, and then a sneaking underhand. And here we go. And Oleksandr Usyk perhaps sensing that Marco Hook. His offense has been reduced to sneaky lead right hands. Now he's getting to run up that upper body, those neck. And now bobbing and weaving in front of his man. The vocal support he's receiving here looks to break down the defenses. Way through. Be it gloves or forearms to launch a sneaky counter right handable position. But it appears to me, as he's put under pressure from some punch picking from Oleksandr Usyk, bobbing on and out, Marco Hook. But it seems to me that Hook is putting all his store knockout. Usyk waves him on, contemptuous, punches up. Usyk pocket, Hook remaining concentrated. Big left hand bounces off the glove. And the energy of use of 46 professional contests. Marco Hook again taking up what is becoming won the title in just his 10th professional contest. Scheduled distance. Before that, it was 9 knockouts of Oleksandr Usyk. Caused many of the punches in that combination to hooks around the corner, uppercuts through the middle by Oleksandr Usyk. Full title defenses. Receiving end of some sustained pressure here. He comes back into punching range, scores with the right hand upstairs, then working the body, his way off the ropes, but only totters across the boxing ring to take up residence on the far side of the ring, near Usyk's corner. Furious assault being launched by Oleksandr Usyk. Is he looking to here? Hook trying to hold on, but instead he's only covering up. Bobbing and wants him to wilt. Again, he's trying to fight his way out of the corner. Uppercutting through the middle. Robert Byrd poised, taking a close look at Marco. All of his strength being put to the test. Working away furiously. Shots underneath. Robert Byrd has stepped in and has whipped it off in the 10th round of this contest.
Це приємно, ну и Олександр, думаю, нам віддячить. Вот уже и почти.
Такое часто бывает, когда встречается левша с правшой. Поддерживать умеют.
Можливо, найбільше досягнень в останній. Так поводиться в ринзі зараз Олександр. Він розігрівся непогано.
Смотря на отсутствие. Главная интрига — это если Брюеру удастся.
Іспит для олімпійського чемпіона.
Да, соперник непрост, действительно, ну так и должно быть. Все-таки раундовый бой в карьере Олександра Усика, который, в общем-то, настоящий...
Коли на кону честь країни потрібно намазувати слабкі місця у захисті. І щойно ми бачили, що це вдається. А удар Усика до... Бій відбувається під егідою WBO. Чемпіон країни – це Муаммар Хуки в Німеччині передусім.
Серб, который выступает. Соперник действительно один из сильнейших. Он должен попадать в число 15 сильнейших. Надеюсь, что пока что рано.
Ну, не будемо забігати. От спілкуючись з Олександром Касюком, промоутером Олександра Усика, все-таки довелося так поступово розвивається і прогресує українець, і завдати найбільше шкоди своєму опоненту.
Прозвище Олександра Усика – это кот.
Оперкут!
Да, с каких позиций, ну, немногие так умеют, согласитесь.
Манера от така от подібна, притаманна братам Кличкам. І от уже джеби проходять і починає.
Очень много ударов выбрасывает украинец. В общем-то, все эти данные, все эти качества могут... Мы понимаем и помним, это затянуть дальние раунды. Через секунду этого раунда неожиданно активизировался Брюер.
Нові бої перекривають.
Делать это останавливаться перед Брюером. Те, кто...
Кондиції і фізична підготовка на високому рівні. Не думаю, що Усик однився. Я думаю, що він просто випробовує, хоче, можливо, що трошки вимахався. Я особливо бачимо доказ. Усик все-таки дав.
Сейчас работает украинец. Обратите внимание, Южной Африки. Жесткая пробив.
Намацує місце і в розові. Олександр і набирає очки. І цей раунд добігає кінця за перевагу.
У Олександра, ну и жестко. Хоть и выдерживал.
Дійсно дивно іноді.
Хорош.
Нагадаємо ще раз, що всі попередні.
Кстати говоря, заканчивается 5-й раунд. И если не в карьере, Олександр Усик выйдет на 6-й раунд.
Навіть не усвідомлюючи, що відбувається.
Настолько быстро на ногах. Тут же уходит на... Более того,
Південноафриканського боксера ще пропускає черговий джеб.
снизился темп. Его превосходство не вызывает никаких сам украинец. Мощный удар по корпусу. Еще. Олександр Усик проводит первый титульный поединок в карьере.
Ну і робить це з удару.
Боксировал Олександр Усик только на Ама.
Знову ж таки пропускає. Точно не програв.
Ну что, уже можно сказать, он хочет или не хочет, а он просто не может. Его план завести бой.
Показує, що нібито мені байдуже, я пропускаю. В принципі, і ока та того не видно.
Йорду Мильке не понравились эти разговоры. От Брюера и левый боковой договорился Брюер. И это похоже на нокаут. Выключил, просто выключил Олександр Усик своего соперника, хоть он и поднялся. Но продолжать этот бой не стоит. Это нокаут. Какой красивенный. С нетерпением ждем повтор. Вот и вам и бравада соперника. Что-то он там пытается.
Теж на високому рівні, тобто вся дистанція.
Превосходный левый боковой через руку. И это первое падение. Встает.
Knockdown.
Мюллер. Но по нему видно, что это падение было тяжелым. Инга Барабас дает отмашку и продолжает бой. Времени достаточно, полминуты до конца этого раунда. Еще одно падение. Станет или нет? Да. Второй нокдаун отсчитывает Барабас.
Треба подихати Мюллеру, інакше непереливки йому
Ну что,
буде.
добьет или нет? Вот главный вопрос, наверное, этого раунда.
Чи дотримається? 12 секунд до кінця.
Жорсткий
І злива
блок.
ударів.
Прячется за блоком Мюллер. И Инга Барабас не выдерживает и останавливает этот бой. Вау!
Фантастичний спорт, фантастична атака, шалений пресинг. І Олександр Усик відстоює свій пояс.
Classics, topsy-turvy tales. Here we go.
From the Super Series, World Super Series of boxing, Tony Bellew coming off the back of the two David Haye fights. Literally proficient and so busy. But just finding his feet.
Trying to get his own rage, Usyk. No.
Always lose against them, but it's hard to get the sparring against these left-handed fighters.
Actually on the waistband, a tribute to the brother-in-law he tragically lost.
And it's understandable, I mean, there's so much at stake. Tony Bellew punches hard into this.
And the bookmakers giving Bellew little chance. Good shot from Bellew there. Jody Moore's a really good opportunity here as he tries to work the Usyk body.
Looking for power to the body and landing. Also with a right hander. This
It's an excellent start, and he wants Usyk to engage.
performance.
Bellew says Usyk has never been...
Trying to draw him in so he can land a big counter punch, and here it comes. Tony Bellew.
Not let him get set. But when they get close, he wants to unload.
He's not doing too much. Roy not making a mistake.
This is meant to be the showcase fight.
Tony Bellew's boxing ability. If he doesn't want to get hit, he's able to drag that foot just back half a step and some shots. So Bellew will be waiting with that right hand counter.
Usyk unbeaten, but he's walking into his right hands.
Good head movement, and he just, nonchalantly shakes his hands on his head. Unsure, he's not confident in committing with anything. And there's Tony.
Most people felt it would be the other way around.
The crowd. This is unknown territory. Another great round for Tony Bellew.
Moore is a big mate of Tony Bellew's. Here's the
Bit of a standoff, but
big left hand from Usyk. First real success.
well, if Bellew switches off against somebody like Usyk, so that slows the punches down.
But doesn't Bellew want it?
Could do again it up close a bit later.
And this is better from the Ukrainian, and he's trying to set up the big left hand.
Looking for that right there.
Big shot from Tony Bellew. Usyk trying to dig the punches in. Left hand gets through. Nice right hand as well. And Usyk just nods.
Did they affect him? Is he too worried? Feel the pace as it goes on then. It's bad news. Some good work there. He's trying to show that in there.
Who would have thought Tony Bellew tables had stopped Bute in this very round, the fifth. Writes poetry, loves solving puzzles.
Can go while Tony Bellew's able to sit back and land good combinations.
Usyk floored in the amateurs with punches like that. A machine, so many calling, and Usyk looking for a lovely, quick counter.
That's the danger. If Usyk finds a home for that jab, he'll be able to...
Still the right hand from Bellew. Haven't seen much of the left hook yet, allowing that. But that's good stuff from Tony Bellew. Let's get over to Derek Chisora. Tony Bellew says he will take. It's been anything but. Tony Bellew settled. Nice work from Bellew. Believe that he would counter punch, that he would try and outbox the boxer.
Going, if this carries on, you expect it to start. Got Bellew ahead because round 2, 3 and 4 was good, but good right hand counter there from Tony Bellew and looks comfortable.
Good shot from Usyk right on the bell. For Oleksandr Usyk as we enter the second half. Lost some of the rounds though recently. British fighter Usyk.
It's a massive ask, and I think David Haye's got something to say here.
Sometimes whipping it off on the side now as a hooking position like that.
Usyk backs him up here.
Comes back with a combination, smiles at him through that gun shield.
I doubt it against somebody of Usyk's quality because that would be dangerous.
And countered and landed on Usyk as he was punching.
Bellew up again into the neutral corner. There's that left hand. And now he's going for it. Tries to turn it into a dogfight, but David Haye here. Evander Holyfield's many Tony Bellew, but it's looking brighter for the Ukrainian. Much brighter now. Bellew backed into a corner again. If he is losing these rounds.
Backing off with blood coming out of his mouth to send the blood splattering.
Yeah, big left hand from Oleksandr for Bellew here in the 8th round.
Tony Bellew wearing down, still looking for that right hand, closing this gap with real, minimum effort. Good shot.
And that TV lights out for Tony Bellew. Dave Colwell straight in the ring. I think he's going to stop it. Oleksandr Usyk finds the answer.
The winner by knockout victory, still undefeated and still the undisputed Cruiserweight champion of the world.